12 Brutal Truths About Old Age I Wish I Had Known After 55. Aging is an undeniable part of life. Yet as I stand here at 89 and beyond, I've realized there are lessons, brutal truths really, that I wish I'd known years ago. They would have saved me heartache, given me peace, and helped me embrace the years ahead with greater wisdom and grace. If you're reading this, my hope is to share these truths with you, not to scare you or make you feel regret, but to empower you to live your best life today, no matter your age. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Your body is the house you live in. Treat it like a mansion. At 55 and beyond, you start to understand that your body is no longer the indestructible machine you thought it was in your youth. It's not just a vessel. It's your lifelong home, the place you'll live in until your final days. And just like a house, it requires care, attention, and sometimes renovation to stay strong. But here's the truth. Many of us treat our bodies like an old car, pushing it beyond its limits, ignoring the warning lights, and then wondering why it breaks down. By now, you may feel the consequences of years of neglect, aches, stiffness, or chronic health issues that don't bounce back like they used to. This doesn't mean you should give up on your body. On the contrary, now is the time to treat it with the respect it's always deserved. Think of your body as a mansion, grand, irreplaceable, and worthy of love. Start with the small things. Nourish it with wholesome food, give it movement to keep it from rusting, and prioritize rest to repair the wear and tear of life. Regular walks can be your foundation. Gentle stretches, a cornerstone. A little strength training, even with something as simple as resistance bands, can keep your walls standing firm. The goal isn't perfection, it's preservation. Treating your body well now won't rewind the clock, but it can ensure you have the energy and vitality to enjoy the years ahead. Don't wait for a health scare to remind you of how precious this house is. Start today, because every moment you care for it, it cares for you in return. You don't need a perfect body, you need a strong, dependable one. And that is well within your reach. 2. True friends are few. Cherish them. In the tapestry of life, friendships are the golden threads that give it color and meaning. But as you age, you realize something deeply sobering. Not all threads last. Some friendships fray, others break, and life's inevitable changes leave you with far fewer than you might have imagined. This isn't a bad thing. It's a reality that sharpens your appreciation for the ones who remain. True friends, the ones who show up for you not just in moments of joy, but in moments of sorrow, confusion, or silence, are rare treasures. And as the years pass, their value only grows. At this stage in life, you've likely faced loss, whether it's loved ones who have passed or friends who've simply drifted away. It's painful, but it also clears the noise, helping you see with clarity who truly matters. Cherishing these friends means more than just saying thank you or remembering their birthdays. It means actively making time, no matter how small the gesture. A phone call to check in, a letter reminiscing about old times, a visit, even if it's just to sit in quiet companionship. These actions say, I see you, I value you, you matter to me. You may also find that friendship at this age becomes less about shared activities and more about shared understanding. It's the friend who knows your history without you needing to explain it, who can read the emotions behind your words, and who gives you the grace to simply be yourself. That kind of connection is rare, and it's worth nurturing. Remember, the greatest gift you can give to these true friends is your presence, fully engaged, without distraction. Let them know they are loved and appreciated, because as time passes, you'll realize that it's not the number of people around you that counts. It's the depth of the relationships you've built. True friends are the heartbeats of life's later years, and every effort to cherish them is time well spent. 3. Life is shorter than you think. Embrace it fully. At 55, you might still feel like there's time to spare, but once you cross the threshold into your 60s and beyond, the pace of life seems to quicken. Days blur into weeks, and years pass with startling speed. It's in this realization that the fragility and brevity of life become crystal clear. The clock is ticking, and every moment matters. This truth can either weigh you down with regret or inspire you to embrace life with new fervor. The time to live is now, not yesterday, not someday, but today. Life, even in its simplest moments, is a gift. The laughter of a grandchild, the warmth of the sun on your face, the quiet satisfaction of a good cup of coffee. These are not small things. They are the very essence of living, and they deserve your full attention. Stop waiting for the right time to pursue joy. That trip you've always wanted to take? Go. That class you've been meaning to try? Sign up. The person you've been longing to reconnect with? Call them. Embracing life fully doesn't mean doing something monumental every day. It means showing up for your life with intention, finding beauty in the ordinary, and letting go of the fear of imperfection. You're not too old to dream, to try, or to begin again. The things you once told yourself you couldn't do, whether because of fear, age, or the opinions of others, are still within your reach if you choose to believe they are. It's tempting to look back and think of all the time you may have wasted, but regret will not add a single extra day to your life. Instead, focus on what you can do with the time you have left. The truth is, no one knows how long they have, but every day you wake up is another chance to make it count. So lean into life. No matter your age or circumstances, let it surprise you, challenge you, and fill you with awe. Life may be shorter than you think, but it's never too late to make it richer. 4. Gratitude is the best medicine. Life, especially in its later years, has a way of narrowing your focus. You might find yourself dwelling on what you've lost, loved ones, health, or opportunities you can never get back. It's a natural response to aging, but it's also a dangerous trap. When you fixate on what's missing, you overlook what remains. Gratitude, I've learned, is the antidote to this blindness, the medicine that heals the heart and brings clarity to the mind. Gratitude doesn't erase your struggles or diminish your pain. What it does is shift your perspective. It teaches you to see the beauty that still exists alongside the hardships, a morning filled with birdsong, the reassuring rhythm of familiar routines, the love of family and friends who stand by you. These are treasures, not to be taken lightly. Gratitude reminds you that even in the face of loss, there is still so much to gain. Developing a habit of gratitude is like strengthening a muscle. It might feel unnatural at first, especially when life feels heavy, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes to notice the small, miraculous details of your day. Keep a journal, even if it's just a list of 3 things you're thankful for each night. Say thank you out loud, whether to someone who's shown you kindness or to life itself for giving you another day. Gratitude isn't just an emotional practice, it's a physical one too. Studies have shown that people who regularly express gratitude experience lower stress, better sleep, and even improved physical health. At this stage of life, those benefits are worth their weight in gold. But beyond the science, there's a simple truth. Gratitude connects you to the present moment. It pulls you out of the shadows of the past and quiets the fears of the future. In the end, gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that life, even with its imperfections, is still a gift. It's about savoring the moments you have left and finding joy in the simple act of being alive. Gratitude is the lens that brings the beauty of your world into focus. And that, my friend, is the best medicine you could ever take. 5. Saying no is a skill you must master. As you grow older, you realize that time and energy are finite, more precious than gold, and once spent, they cannot be reclaimed. Yet, for much of life, we've been conditioned to say yes to everything. Yes to requests, yes to obligations, yes to invitations that may not even bring us joy. Somewhere along the way, we forget that every yes we give to something unimportant is a no to ourselves and the things that truly matter. Learning to say no isn't just about declining an invitation or a favor. It's about reclaiming your life. It's about recognizing that your time is sacred, and not everyone or everything deserves a piece of it. When you say no with grace, you're setting boundaries, not because you don't care about others, but because you care deeply about yourself. Those boundaries create space for the things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. I've learned that saying no is an act of courage. It can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you worry about disappointing others. But here's the truth. The people who truly respect you will honor your boundaries, and for those who don't, their disappointment is not your responsibility. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you self-aware. It allows you to show up fully for the people and commitments that matter most to you, rather than spreading yourself thin. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to something that fills you. Whether it's a quiet evening with a good book, a walk in nature, or simply the peace of an unhurried day. Don't be afraid to protect your time. At this stage in life, you've earned the right to choose how you spend it. Saying no isn't a rejection of others, it's an affirmation of yourself. 6. Your legacy is built in small moments. When we think of legacy, it's tempting to picture grand achievements, career milestones, financial success, or accolades with our names engraved on them. But as the years pass, it becomes clear that legacy isn't about what you accumulate. It's about the moments you create and the lives you touch. It's not measured in the size of your bank account, but in the depth of your impact. Your legacy is woven into the small, everyday moments. It's the bedtime story you told your grandchildren that they'll remember long after you're gone. It's the kindness you showed to a stranger, the wisdom you shared with a friend, and the time you gave to someone in need. These acts may feel insignificant in the moment, but they leave an indelible mark on the world. I've come to understand that legacy isn't about striving for perfection or doing something extraordinary. It's about being present, showing up with love, and giving the best of yourself to others. It's the laughter you share around the dinner table, the forgiveness you extend when it's hard, and the encouragement you offer when someone doubts themselves. These are the threads that weave the fabric of your legacy. Don't underestimate the power of your presence in someone's life. A simple word of encouragement or a gesture of support can ripple outwards in ways you'll never fully see. The love and values you instill in others, whether your children, grandchildren, or friends, will carry forward, shaping the future in ways you can only imagine. At this stage of life, every moment is an opportunity to add to your legacy. You don't need a grand plan or a monumental act to leave something meaningful behind. Your legacy is already being built one small moment at a time. So live with intention, choose kindness, and remember that the impact of your life is not in the things you leave behind, but in the love and memories you pass on to others. 7. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Keep it sharp. As the years pass, one of the most profound truths reveals itself. While the body may slow, the mind remains a boundless treasure if you nurture it. At 65 and beyond, the richness of life isn't measured by physical stamina, but by the clarity of thought, the depth of understanding, and the joy of curiosity. Your mind is a garden, and what you plant and tend to now will determine its beauty and resilience in the years to come. tempting to fall into patterns of mental passivity, letting the days blur into routines. But a stagnant mind, like still water, can become clouded. Staying sharp isn't just about avoiding forgetfulness or confusion, it's about keeping your spirit alive. Read books that challenge your thinking or transport you to places you've never been. Take up puzzles, games, or hobbies that stretch your cognitive muscles. Learn something new, no matter how small, a language, a skill, or even just the story behind a piece of music you love. More importantly, engage with the world. Hold conversations that spark curiosity, even with those who might think differently than you. Listen deeply and share your wisdom in return. Interactions like these keep the mind agile and connected to the present moment. But keeping your mind sharp isn't just about activity. It's also about what you feed it. Be mindful of the information you consume. Avoid the endless negativity of news cycles and instead focus on content that inspires or educates you. A healthy mind, like a healthy body, thrives on quality nourishment. The most remarkable thing about the mind is its capacity to grow no matter your age. You've accumulated decades of experience and wisdom, yet there is still so much to discover. Cherish your mind and keep it vibrant, not only for your own sake, but for those around you who benefit from the brightness of your thoughts and the depth of your stories. Your mind is a gift, and it's never too late to make it stronger. 8. Change is inevitable. Learn to flow with it. If life has taught us anything, it's that change comes whether we welcome it or not. By the time we reach 65, we've seen seasons shift, loved ones come and go, and familiar routines dissolve into memories. While change can be unsettling, resisting it only amplifies the discomfort. True peace comes from learning to flow with it, adapting gracefully to life's ever-turning tide. It's natural to feel a sense of loss as the years pass. Perhaps you've downsized your home, adjusted to life after retirement, or faced physical changes that make you long for the energy and vitality of your youth. These transitions can feel like a letting go of who you once were. But what if, instead of focusing on what's gone, you embraced what's unfolding? Flowing with change doesn't mean denying your emotions. It's okay to mourn the past and honor the person you've been. But don't let nostalgia trap you in a place where you can't move forward. Life is still happening right now, and every moment holds the potential for something beautiful. Adapting to change also means finding new ways to define yourself. If your career was once your identity, explore passions that may have been set aside. If your social circles have grown smaller, use this as an opportunity to forge deeper connections with those who remain. If your physical abilities have shifted, focus on what you can still do rather than what you've lost. There's a quiet power in surrendering to the flow of life, trusting that every season has its own gifts. With change comes growth, even in the later chapters of life. Each new phase is an invitation to discover parts of yourself you never knew were there. Embrace the unfamiliar, and you may find that what lies ahead is not just different, but unexpectedly wonderful. The secret to aging well isn't avoiding change, it's welcoming it as an essential part of the journey. 9. Material things mean less and less. As the years roll by, the shine of material possessions starts to fade. The things that once seemed so important, bigger houses, fancier cars, closets full of clothes, now feel like mere trinkets compared to the richness of a life well lived. It's not that material things lose all value, they simply fall into their rightful place, far below the intangible treasures of love, health, and connection. When you reflect on the best moments of your life, you realize they were rarely about things. They were about experiences, a heartfelt conversation, a trip with loved ones, the laughter shared over a simple meal. Yet, we often spend so much of our lives chasing the tangible, believing it will bring us fulfillment. By 65, you begin to see the truth. No possession can replace the warmth of holding a grandchild's hand or the peace of watching a sunset after a long day. Decluttering, both physically and emotionally, becomes not just practical, but liberating. As you let go of the excess, the things gathering dust in your home or the grudges taking up space in your heart, you make room for what truly matters. A lighter home, free of unnecessary possessions, feels like a fresh start. A lighter heart, unburdened by past regrets, gives you the freedom to fully embrace the present. This isn't about rejecting comfort or denying yourself small pleasures. It's about understanding that the most valuable things in life aren't things at all. They're the relationships you nurture, the memories you create, and the legacy of kindness and love you leave behind. In the end, the less you cling to the material, the more room you have for the spiritual, the emotional, and the truly meaningful. That is wealth in its purest form. 10. Take responsibility for your own happiness. One of the harshest truths to accept, but perhaps the most liberating, is that your happiness is your own responsibility. It's a lesson many don't learn until later in life, but once you do, it changes everything. For much of our lives, we might pin our joy, or lack thereof, on external circumstances, a job, a relationship, or the approval of others. But by 65, it becomes clear that waiting for others to make you happy is a losing game. True happiness doesn't come from what others do for you. It comes from what you do for yourself. It's the result of choosing to find beauty in the ordinary, seeking meaning in your day-to-day life, and focusing on what you can control. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or moments of sadness. Those are inevitable parts of life. But it does mean that your response to them is within your power. Taking responsibility for your happiness also means letting go of resentment and blame. It's tempting to look back and fault others for missed opportunities or pain. But holding on to those feelings only prolongs your suffering. Forgive, not because others always deserve it, but because you deserve the peace that forgiveness brings. When you release the weight of blame, you create space for joy. Happiness in your later years isn't about grand achievements or dramatic changes. It's about the small, intentional acts that bring you closer to yourself. Tending a garden, savoring a quiet morning, reconnecting with an old friend, or simply taking a moment to breathe deeply and feel gratitude. No one else can do this for you. The sooner you embrace this truth, the sooner you'll realize that happiness was never something to be found. It's something you create, one choice at a time. 11. Don't let fear run your life. Fear has a way of creeping into your life as you age, often in subtler but more pervasive forms than in your younger years. It disguises itself as caution, practicality, or even wisdom, but at its core, fear seeks to limit you, to keep you from stepping outside your comfort zone. By 65, it's easy to fall into the trap of letting fear dictate your decisions. Fear of failure, fear of change, fear of being hurt, or even fear of not being enough. But here's the hard truth. Fear is a terrible guide. When you allow it to steer your life, it robs you of opportunities for growth, connection, and fulfillment. It convinces you to play small, to avoid risks, and to settle for less than what you truly desire. Yet, the reality is that some of the greatest joys and triumphs in life come from moving through fear, not avoiding it. It's not about pretending fear doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging it and choosing to act anyway. Take the trip you've been putting off because you're worried about the logistics. Start that project you've been dreaming of, even if you're unsure where it will lead. Reach out to a loved one you've grown distant from, even if the conversation feels daunting. Every time you confront fear, you shrink its power and expand your own. The truth is, life is too short to let fear be the loudest voice in the room. You have so much wisdom, strength, and resilience within you, qualities that fear cannot take away unless you allow it to. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes next. And remember, It's not the absence of fear that defines courage, but the willingness to keep moving forward despite it. You've overcome so much already. Don't let fear stop you from embracing the life that still lies ahead. 12. The best time to start is now. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned with age is this: it is never too late to begin again. At 65 or 85, the calendar pages may seem to flip faster, but each day still offers the same precious opportunity to start fresh. The weight of past decisions, regrets, or missed chances may feel heavy, but they don't have to define what comes next. The only moment that truly matters is the one you have right now. Starting doesn't mean you have to aim for something monumental. It can be as simple as reaching for a book you've always meant to read, planting a flower in the garden, or calling a friend you've been thinking about. Each small act of beginning creates momentum, and before long, those small steps can lead to big changes. Whether it's your health, your relationships, or a long-neglected dream, starting today means taking control of your life and choosing to live intentionally. Let go of the idea that the best time has passed. The truth is, there's no perfect moment to begin. There's just now. The beauty of this stage of life is that you've seen enough to know what truly matters. You no longer need to chase the approval of others or worry about making mistakes. Instead, you can focus on what brings you joy, meaning, and peace. Starting now is an act of hope, a declaration that there is still life to be lived, lessons to be learned, and experiences to be cherished. Don't wait for another day to tell someone you love them, to pursue the things that light you up, or to forgive yourself for the past. The best time to start isn't behind you. It's right here in this very moment. Embrace it with both hands and watch as the simple act of beginning brings new energy, purpose, and joy into your life. Conclusion: embracing the gift of aging. Aging is often painted in shades of loss of youth, loss of time, loss of certain abilities. But the truth is, aging is not a subtraction, it's an addition. It adds depth to your understanding, richness to your relationships, and clarity to your purpose. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every ache is a testament to a life lived, lessons learned, and love given. Aging is not the end of the road. It's a continuation of the journey, one that carries you toward greater wisdom and fulfillment. As we grow older, life whispers truths that we were too busy to hear in our younger years. It teaches us that happiness isn't found in the frantic pursuit of perfection, but in the quiet moments of connection, gratitude, and self-acceptance. It reminds us that every stage of life, even this one, is filled with potential for growth, for joy, and for leaving a meaningful legacy. This stage of life is a gift, a chance to focus on what truly matters. It's a time to simplify, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to embrace what brings you peace. It's a time to laugh loudly, to love deeply, and to forgive fully. It's a time to celebrate the incredible person you've become and the life you've built, while still reaching for new dreams and experiences. You are not defined by the years behind you, but by the way you choose to live the ones ahead. Every day is an opportunity to become more of who you truly are, to share your wisdom with the world, and to create memories that will outlive you. Aging is not a limitation, it's an invitation to live more fully, love more openly, and be more unapologetically yourself. So, embrace this chapter with courage and grace. Look at the mirror, not with regret, but with pride for all you've endured and gratitude for all you've become. And as you move forward, remember this: the best days of your life aren't behind you. They're the ones you choose to make meaningful today. The story of your life is still being written, and you hold the pen. Write it boldly with love, purpose, and the knowledge that every day is a gift waiting to be unwrapped. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching. And here's to living life on your own terms.